What's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Mr. Fox, back in the house, and today doing episode 2 review of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. What's going on, everybody? So, this week's episode, it was good. Nothing spectacular. Well, it was still funny. It made me laugh. The Tsundere Dragon Veldora is like hilarious. It's just a few hilarious key moments in there that were just funny to me. Actually, that was probably the funniest part. Is just our main character Mikami and Veldora. Just them hanging out and talking and all that. But so getting into it. So it picks up where we left off last week, and Mikami is telling Veldora, I don't want to leave a friend here, by themselves, since you've been here for like 300 years. And Veldora gets kind of like touched. She's like, oh, I have a friend. Yay me. He doesn't do that, but he might as well have been just the same, to be perfectly honest. But so Mikami comes up with the idea he's like, well, how about I try to break the seal that's on him. It's called what is it? Unlimited imprisonment. And so that's why Veldora has been stuck there for 3 years. If you watched last week's episode, you also know the backstory on that. He fried a few villagers. Someone had a problem with that, and put him to sleep. Well, not to sleep, just put him away for a little while, and he's been there ever since. But Veldora's like, because Mikami's whole thing right now is he wants to see if he can find other people that are from Japan. I wouldn't look for other people from Japan. I just look to see if anyone came from like the same world that I did, Earth, or wherever they're. The place they're called. I don't know if it's called Earth or not, but it's really doesn't matter. So, like I said, Mikami comes up with ideas like, how about I try to break it? He tries it, it doesn't work. So he gets the idea, how about I try to absorb it and analyze it while you try to break it from the inside. He's like, you won't die, you'll just be in storage, pretty much. And Veldora gets this look and then he just busts out laughing and shouts out to the voice actor that does him. It was great. It made me laugh. And he's like, that sounds like a great idea. That's super interesting. He's like, let's do it. And he's like, hold up, wait. He tells him, before we do that, I want to give you a name. So, you're just not some nameless monster. At least you'll have a name. And Mikami's like, okay, cool. So, and Veldora is also like, give me a name too. So, it shows, I guess, it gives him some type of protection. I guess they'll go deeper into that later on, but in the series, but they didn't really, go in detail on it, this episode. So Mikami thinks of a name for Veldora. He's like, what's another name for Storm? Storm. And he comes up with Tempest. So he decides to call him Tempest Veldora. And Veldora gives him a crazy look again and busts out laughing. And he's like, that is an awesome name. And he gives Mikami a name. Because he hasn't been calling him that. He's just been calling him Slime. That's pretty much. Or like you. Not like Yu Hakusho, but you. Like, hey, you. You there.
Hey, you there.
Hey,
You there. Hey,
you there. You there.
There.
I was thinking of back in middle school. Or high school. Who knows. But he gives Mikami the name of, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering this. Rimuru. I know fairly well that's not how it's pronounced, but it's, you know what? I'll put it on the screen. I'll put it right here. Yeah, so just so y'all can follow along with me. And after Veldora gives Rimuru his new name, something happens. He says, I think he says the name was etched on his soul. He gives him some type of protection or something. I don't know what that really entails, but whatever type of protection that a dragon can give you. He now has it. So he does that, and then he's like, he's like, hurry up and figure out how to break the imprisonment. And Veldora's like, you don't worry, I'll see you. I'll see you soon and all that. I mean, afterwards, weeks go by. Rimuru just, wandering around the cave trying to figure out how to get out. He acquires a new skill. He acquires a water blade. But I like how they did it though, because it wasn't just like he acquired water blade, but last episode he acquired water propulsion and all that. And I don't know if they do this in like the light novel, because I do know this has a light novel. I haven't read it though. I probably will after this. Like I said, after this season is over with, just to have something new reading material in my life. But they combine it, and it's like water blade, water jet propulsion and all that, and they just make it into one whole skill, water manipulation. I thought that was dope. That makes sense to me, instead of just like you got water this, water that, water, and so on and so forth with others, whatever skill. They just, the AI. That's what I'm calling it. Whatever. It just combines. It's like you can now manipulate water. And afterwards, that's when he finally comes across another creature. It's a black snake. Whatever. At first he freaks out, but he's like, compared to Veldora, this is nothing. So he water blades. First off, that technique he got, water blade, that thing is potent, because he uses on that black snake. Shing, head smooth off. No blood, no nothing, just clean cut. And the head's on the ground, the body's still twitching like crazy. You feel me? I mean, and then he decides like, if I absorb the snake, can I use his abilities? He does. He absorbs it, and he gets the snake. He's able to turn into the snake, and he's also able to use his abilities. And one of its abilities, which is really potent, is called poison breath. He goes deeper into the cave. He finds other monsters. He uses poison breath on like one other creature. It looked like a beefed up chameleon or salamander or something. And he uses poison breath. It melts the thing down to the point where they can't even, like, they censored like the body melting. They're like, we can't show you this for purposes and all that. So yeah, he goes to the cave. He finds other monsters. He's getting new skills. One of the new skills he got was like he killed like a bat, and he got like ultrasonic waves, which now allows him to speak. So now he's actually able to physically speak. Because when him and Veldora were talking, they were just communicating through telepathy. That's how they were going. That's how they were doing that. But now he can actually talk. He doesn't have a mouth. His slime body forms a mouth when he speaks, but now he can actually speak to normal people. So he goes through. One of my favorite moments though was like he killed a spider, and he got his ability to shoot webs and stuff. There's like this giant chasm in the cave, and he swings across it. It reminds me of Spider-Man and Tarzan, because he's yelling like "oh" and all that, and this was hilarious. It's not even really that important of a scene. I just like it. So he finally gets to the end, and it's a big steel door, and he's like, maybe I can use water blade to open it, but then it opens on its own like a few seconds later, and that's when we finally come across human beings. They're adventurers, obviously. You can tell by looking at their gear and all that. And they're like, one of them says like this door is really hard to open, like all the keyholes starting to rust, and the other one was like, of course this door hasn't been open for like 300 years, and they have a girl with them. She looks like a mage or a priest. She has a magic staff on her. She lights it up, and remember, I'm so sorry about this name. Rimuru, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna learn to pronounce it. Next video, I'm gonna know how to pronounce his name. Hopefully. Maybe. Probably. Don't hold me to that. But, he's debating. He's like, should I go talk to him? He's like, it would suck to go talk to him and they immediately attack me. So he decides not to. One of the adventurers, there's three of them. It's two boys and a girl. One of them decides like, hey, I'm gonna activate my stealth skill. Good on you. They go deeper into the cave, and Rimuru decides to forget it. I'm out. Freedom. He goes, and he's out in the sun. He's wandering through the forest and all that, and then, he's just like, man, he's like, I got to come up with some cool, funny stories to tell Veldora when he gets out, when he breaks the seal and all that. And then that's when we come across goblins. And if you're like me, like after this weekend, you're on like a not a goblin hate spree, but you're wary of them little suckers and all that. But these are the more docile goblins that you hear about in most, and not most, but in some fantasies. They're not pillaging and raping people. They're just trying to they're just trying to get by and mind their own business. So he comes across like a well, he comes as he's walking through the forest like a little small little unit of well, no, it's a troop, troop. I don't know how many people consist of a troop, but a troop of goblins, and he's like, huh, and he's not worried about it. He's like, oh, goblins. And the goblins are like, oh powerful one, what do you want? Do you have business here? And he's trying to figure out like who are you talking to? You looking at me, and then like he shapes his body into like a question mark, and the one goblin that's in charge of the troop is like, yeah, I'm talking to you, obviously. Not, but he didn't say it like in a sarcastic, like in a smart aleck way or anything. He was just like, yeah, we mean you. And he's like, and this is when Mikami decides he's not Mikami. His name's not Mikami no more. It's Rimuru. Which ain't even how you pronounce it. Tell me how you pronounce it in the comments or whatever. But he tries to he doesn't try. He uses his new ultrasonic ability to speak, but he said he thought too hard, and like when he speaks, he's like yelling to the point where it's almost like its own attack, because it blows some of the goblins like back, and their eardrums, I'm pretty sure they're ringing like crazy, and they're like, stop, we know you're powerful, please, lower your voice. And he's like, oh, my bad. And then he talks. He finally figures out how to talk normal. And they're like, what's your business here? Oh, powerful one. He's like, you can't be talking about me. They're like, surely you jest. Which people need to say that more often, to be real. Like you say, like, are you kidding me? It's like, surely you jest, sir. You cannot be serious. I like that. I like that word. I like how it's used. It's nice to me. Use it more. It's an order. But and he's like, Rimmeru's like, oh, he's like, I got no business here, pretty much. And the head goblin, the leader goblin, is like, well, we have a favor to ask of you. And he's like, what favor is it? So he takes him back to the village, and they bring him into a tent where it's the goblin that was in charge of the troop and the elder of it. And shouts out to the voice actor that did the old man goblin's voice, because like he sounded like legitimately like an elder would. Like his voice was like real shaky, because the whole time the elder goblin is like shaking, and you can hear it in his voice too. And I thought that was just really dope and good, good voice acting. Nothing, he didn't say nothing like crazy or important thing. I just thought it was a nice little tidbit, because I like that stuff, like just like the little touches and stuff. I appreciate that the most. So, the head goblin tells him what, like what's up. He's like, first off, he's like, they're like, what? They're like, you can't. They're like, we know you are a powerful being because your aura is like off the chart. And that's when Rimuru tells the AI, like, hey, show me the perspective of me. He's like, show me magic sense, but show me from the perspective. And it does. And he is like, his aura is like it looks like a mist of miasma, because it's all over the place. And it's more blackish, but that blackish like rainbow vibrancy, like a spectrum wave or something. And he's like, oh man. So he decides, to hide his aura. And the elder was like, oh, I'm glad we noticed and all that. And for some odd reason, Rimuru goes on like this high and mighty little thing. Nothing crazy, but he's like, oh good. He's like, you have great potential. Like, like I was testing you. It was kind of weird to me. I was like, huh. So, and then after they dispense with all that, they go, the elder goblin goes into details like, look, we are being attacked by some dire wolves. Apparently the goblins in here are like weak, because the dire wolves are strong. I think it stated like it takes like almost half of them to take down one dire wolf, and apparently there's 100 of these things, that came after him. So, and like the dire wolves came, and like all the you know how it goes. All the men go to try and fight, and a big chunk of them get decimated. Even like the head warrior they had, he gets killed in battle and leaves them, the rest of them by themselves. Because right now they only have about 60 fighters. That's including the women in the tribe. So pretty much the only people left to fight is the rest of the village or the tribe or whatever. So they asked. Remember, it was like, can you please help us, because it's obvious that you are strong because we saw your aura. And he's like, and remember, he's like, I can't really say no, but I guess to make them feel better or something, he's like, what can you offer me in return? And I mean, you can tell they don't got nothing. It's like, we can't give you nothing. But I like what they did, that they're like, we offer you your loyalty. I mean, our loyalty, which I think is more important anyway. Because like, yeah, you can get like stuff and all that, but if you can get like loyalty, that's more valuable. That goes like way further if they would have gave you like a crap ton of gold or like a rare weapon or something. Because eventually the gold will be spent, or the weapon, get broke or something, or you'll find something better. So loyalty, I like that. And and that's pretty much where that's where this episode ends. It's like, after he asks for compensation, they say they'll offer their entire loyalty to him. And then that's when like one of the dire wolves like is howling, like pretty much signaling like, we on the way. And Rimuru comes out, tells the village like, don't worry, we're going to defeat them. And they pledge their loyalty like right there. And he's like, that's how I became the leader of the goblins. And that's where the episode cuts out. I mean, I like it. I'm excited to see what goes on, next episode and all that. Hopefully it's not drawn out, because I know some shows like draw out fights. I hope it's like My Hero, where like, get to the fight, straight to the point. Actually, start a fight, get to the middle of the fight, and end the fight all in the same episode. Not start a fight and then like 2 episodes later or something like that. I don't really dig on that. Dragon Ball Z is a big offender of that. Yeah, but so that's this week's episode. Like I said, nothing crazy. Just more of Rimuru getting his new name, running around, acquiring new skills, and helping out some goblins who aren't trying to rape human women and all that. Oh my goodness. I know everyone's tripping off Goblin Slayer, but But also, I want to apologize for getting this video out late and actually I still got some other videos they're gonna be dropping soon. Those will be out late. I've been busy with school and all that. But I'll do like a PSA or some video about that, explaining like exactly how I'm gonna do the videos and try and stick to like some form of a schedule. But my life is crazy. But with that being said, it's your boy Fox. Do all that stuff I normally tell you to do. Subscribe, like, hit the bell to get notified when I drop more videos and all that. My Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all that's in the description. Make sure you follow that. Also, I've been forgetting, but make sure you go check out the other channel that I do with my fiance. That's called Into the Fox Den. I'll leave a link for that in the description as well. With that being said, it's your boy Fox. Out.